sense.
Well, you
You
have
guys
to
are just
drink.
stuck looking at me. I don't know what to tell you.
There you go, Heidi. Today
I did this.
I'm going. Cam's in space.
Yeah. Good morning, Gary, Mark, Cam, Terry. Everyone jumping on.
Morgan.
Good morning.
Michael.
Hey.
Jake.
From State Farm. What are you wearing? Khakis?
Khakis.
I'm sure he's never heard that one before.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jake.
And we also have Hank. Hank has joined us.
Yeah, Hank loves Zoom calls.
He actually watches the video, you guys. I had Lily jump up when Heather and I were on this morning, and he was like, "What? There's a dog."
Aww.
Cutie.
Let's see if you can see my cat. Hang on, I'll grab him.
Oh,
Mark, are you on a treadmill? Mark Schultz, are you on a treadmill? Are you walking?
Yeah. Yes,
That's
I am.
Awesome. Good for you. You got to set up a little meeting, a little exercise. That's good stuff.
Good morning,
Hey,
Dad.
it's the best way to travel outside the house right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's awesome.
Oh, and Megan's in Disneyland.
Where is she? Oh my gosh.
I love it.
So jelly. I thought they closed.
I thought it was closed.
I snuck in.
And Michael, if you're in the house by yourself, you don't need a mask on.
Social distancing, flatten the curve, be safe here.
Yeah, I better scoot back. I'm on my own private island.
This is how I show houses now, just like this. So.
Way to adapt. I love it. All right. Well, let's get rolling. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good week so far. There has been some great sharing of things just amongst agents this week. And Laura, I know you shared something about the home disinfecting. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I don't know too much. Lynn Stanek with Ambient Staging is providing a service where she'll, if your sellers, once they move out, want to buy a disinfecting service before the buyers move in, that's something Lynn Stanek's offering. And I can get everyone her contact information. I don't have the pricing. I just sent her an email about that. So we'll see. I'm sure it varies depending on the size of the house.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I'm sure that's something a lot of clients will be asking about.
We're posting that flyer that you put out too, Laura.
Oh, okay, great.
Thank you for doing that. It's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Other things, and then I know Gary and some others have shared things about a lot of the new government programs and loans and the CARE Act and things that are available now. So Tanya is going to share some info about that, and then everyone can chime in if they've heard different things or whatever information other people have too.
So Gary was kind enough to share with us information about the employee retention credit. And there's a website on the IRS that is solely designated for COVID-19. I'm going to share the link for the employee retention credit. It kind of has, to this page, it has step-by-step details to know if your business would qualify for it. The retention credit is available to employers of any size, including tax-exempt organizations. State and local governments are the only exceptions to that rule. And it is to help reduce the refundable tax credit towards paying the Social Security tax, I believe that one is. The amount of the credit is 50% of qualifying wages up to $10,000 in total. And I will share this link on Facebook. I've already uploaded some documents, including applications, and that pertains to the small business paycheck protection. And I'm going to share my screen real quick so that you guys can take a look. this document is already uploaded into Facebook, along with a brief, this is a brief overview, there's another overview, and then there's also the application for it. Basically, every single one of you that have staff, and I believe at one point I read where whether you have an employee or not an employee might qualify for it. So there's this one is on payroll, and then there's one that has to do with your utilities, your rent, and payroll. Okay. So one of the things that my coach had put out for us is, let me stop share on that real quick and hop over to that. They had a call yesterday from MAPS coach Rich Anderson, and he talked about the 2 different types of SBA loans. The first one, they're taking applications for the money and will most likely be gone probably by today. So you want to get in and you want to try to apply for that as quickly as possible. I will have the link directly to that for you. And then the second one does more in covering the salaries, utilities, and the rent. And that one, you actually get the application from your bank, and they are not accepting applications until Friday. So, but be prepared, talk to your bank, get your applications, and get ready for it, and try to be at the forefront of that. Peter, you mentioned that you've gone to Chase. What do you tell us about that?
I have been communicating with Chase this morning, and they expect to have the applications for the PP Payroll Protection Program up and running, which essentially is, and I don't think they differentiate between independent contractors and W-9 employees at this point, but that's to be seen. But you take 2 months of payroll expenses for your assistants or whatever, and you get an extra 25% of that, and make the application, and assuming they give you the money, if you use it for payroll, rent, interest, we don't have mortgages on the office other than Dwight and I. So, but and then it's supposedly 100% forgiven, so it's
right,
free money.
Yep.
And he said that if it will be, they expect to be up by Friday, but if it's sooner, they'll let me know, and I'll certainly let Tanya know, and those that go through Chase. But any SBA lender, Wells Fargo, wherever you do your banking, they're probably where you go.
Right. I know I read, I've been reading, probably just diving into a whole bunch of different links. There are many different links that you can go out to on the IRS page. And I was reading in one place where they expect you to still have your employees working. So that's part of it. So for you to be able to continue trying to do your business the best that you can, get some relief and help with paying your employees, and not building the unemployment pool, right?
Right. You have to, it has to be, whoops. Wait a minute. Stop. Got my back.
He muted himself. Peter, you're muted.
You have to use that money for payroll or the expenses, specifically expenses that are qualified, and basically payroll costs, interest on mortgage obligation, rent under lease agreements in force, utilities, all of which were beginning before February 15, 2020. You had to be under contract by then.
Right. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Are you going to be sharing that document somewhere?
Yeah, the documents are actually already uploaded into the Facebook group.
Oh, great. Okay.
It's over in the files.
Okay, I know where to find that. Thank you.
Yep, and then I'm going to do a post after the meeting with links out to each of the groups, each of the different pages you can go to, because there's a few different things. But let's get you all covered and taken care of, right?
Yeah, that's great info, Tanya. And essentially, the government is just giving away free money to help keep people employed. So we want to make sure we're taking advantage of it. That's great. Anyone else, Dwight, you want to chime in on anything on that?
No, I just think it's important to track these. Excuse me. I'm getting these from a lot of my friends that are in various businesses and industries, and it's all developing. So if anyone has any an interest, they should follow up with these. These are the best ones that I've seen so far.
Great. All right, let's talk about what is going on out there in the field and who has had some success this week. I know, Robert Thompson, I know you had some success. Would you like to share? Oh, and you will have to unmute yourself.
Gosh, yes, I would like to share. Unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I put together, as well as I could, and a virtual open house over the weekend. So what I did is I set up a Zoom, a time for Zoom, which I would do it totally different now that I know what I know, but I set up a 2-hour window for Zoom. And then I went out to the property I was holding open and did video of it. And I did kind of a walkthrough tour, and then there's already pictures and things that I had from the listing itself. And so I put together a single-page website for the property, and then on that website I put a link to the YouTube video, the uploaded video tour that I did, and then I posted all of that on Facebook. With a link to the single-page website, which in turn linked you to the video. And then I marketed that as this house will be open this Sunday from 11 to 1 or whatever it was. And I got 360 hits on that page on my website within a couple hours. And this is in Malala, so there's 10,000 people in Malala. It's a relatively small market. And so, granted, some of those people were from outside of Malala, I'm sure, but 360 hits on my website in one day from a population of 10,000. That's 1 out of 30 people looking at my website. Let's see. So then I got one conversation in my Zoom meeting. Somebody actually joined Zoom with me and chatted for a while, and she and her husband are bona fide buyers. So that's going to go somewhere. I haven't gotten any further on that because they're not interested in this particular property. And then through the Facebook posting of everything, in total, what I got was 5 or 6 leads. I got six buyer leads along with the sell side of a couple of them. So, these are all still nebulous. It's not like they're, closed deals or anything yet, but they were all good. They were all good, strong leads. I got a couple other little inquiries, comments on Facebook that I'm not counting, but so it's pretty successful. I think, there's no reason to hold it open on Zoom so much, really, I don't think, for 2 hours. I don't know, it's hard to get random people to stop by your Zoom meeting. If you're not scheduling with people that you already have figured out, it's kind of hard to get people to join a Zoom meeting. A lot of people don't know what it is and that kind of thing. So I think I would do it still, but just a much shorter version of it. But always have that posted on, in turn, post that onto Facebook so that it's always available as a video that links to all the information on the property and the virtual tour and all that kind of good stuff. So
that is so great. A couple questions for you. So did you create that single property site through Command?
No, I have a website through Easy Agent Pro.
Okay.
And you can just go in there and create a website for individual properties, which is that's what the app on the website's called, is single page website.
Okay. And then did you push that it out through Facebook through Command or directly through Facebook?
I did it directly through Facebook. So I did it directly to my general public, and then also, I'm in a couple of community groups, and then I started a couple of community groups and pages on Facebook that so it went out through all. I posted it individually on each one of those Facebook pages, and but that was it. I didn't put it anywhere else like Instagram or anything, just Facebook. So
Robert Thompson, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong?
We need to have you chat with Chantel about getting in command and doing your post through there, because you're going to get a much better turnout. It's going to be artificial intelligence, so you're going to reach better audiences, and then they go directly into your command and become leads for you.
All right. So getting 6 leads a day is not good?
No, that's fantastic, but maybe it'll be double going through command.
I hear
Even
you.
Facebook is working directly with KW and command, and the way they're interacting with each other with the artificial intelligence, it's actually pushing your ad out better and getting better response rate than you do doing it directly through Facebook.
Okay. Well, I will talk to Chantel about that. I didn't really know that.
And then we want to hear how good your turnout is on that. Okay.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Awesome.
Yeah, and pushing it out through Facebook is great. And like Tanya said, the reason command is better is because it's targeting people that are actually going to do an action of clicking on it, be engaged, potentially buying based on different websites that they've visited, based on their previous social media experience. So just a lot more targeted, so your dollars go farther. So say, whatever you're spending, on average, like Facebook says, like it's about $10 a lead, and on using command, it's between $1 and $2 is what it breaks down to.
Gotcha.
So money will
and I didn't do any paid ads. That's all just organic.
Oh, wow. Okay,
yeah, you can do that too. The other thing about doing it through command is you can use up to 6 pictures, and you can feed it out through Facebook and Instagram at the same time. And then when as it's pushing those out, it'll find whichever picture is getting the best response, then they'll redirect and send most of them through all your ads through that picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even realize it did that, to be honest.
No, that's all right.
I know, and a lot of people don't know, like, you kind of hear like, oh, you should do it through command, but why? And so that's why I think it's good to help explain why it really is better. On that note, so even though you didn't have a ton of turnout into the actual open house, so many people saw that you're out there working, 360 clicks in your community. That's amazing. So I think one of the morals of that story is it's not necessarily how many people even actually come on, although obviously you want people, it's the activity and that people see that and people see you're working. And I know Jenny Hill did one last weekend too. Jenny, if you want to chime in. And even though it didn't have great turnout either, people still saw on social media, she's out there, she's working, she has listings, there's still that activity, and you're still staying top of mind with people, even if that turnout's not great. So I love it. So if you did it again, I know you said you would do it. What else would you do differently? I know you said you would do it a shorter timeline.
Yeah, the Zoom part, I would do a shorter timeline. I mean, clearly my top priority at this point is to do it on command because, I'm missing out. I think I would just, more than anything, I would refine. I mean, now I know how to kind of put everything together. I was kind of piecemealing, and I think, oh, I should do this now. Oh, I should get this going. I should do this. So now I have a little bit better idea of how to actually put the system together, as opposed to thinking last minute, oh, I need to do that. Now I kind of have a better idea in my head, although there's still plenty to figure out. But I think there's more opportunity to use Zoom for that kind of thing that I haven't figured out how to do it quite yet. So I think there's potential there, especially because I live in Malala, which is a small community. And I'm pretty active in the town, and so I have a good distribution base. When I post things, it gets distributed to a lot of people from there. So I think focusing on an area is like a small town, or even if you were to pick like a big farm or whatever you want to call it, like just a big subdivision, and just focus in there so that it's and get into the community groups for that neighborhood and just really push it out there. Publicize ahead of time. I didn't do a whole lot of that. I didn't start doing anything until the day before, so I think getting some lead time would help, so that's my insights for the moment.
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Can I just say, like, congratulations, Robert, and thank you for being so adaptable and just trying to figure out that technology and and just getting out there and doing those activities. I think that's really inspiring for people to see and see that it works. And I totally know what you're saying about the Malala community. So I just think it's incredible that you put it together, and now for next time you have an even, you know, more solid plan. And so I just think it's really exciting that you're doing those activities and that they're working. I think that's really awesome for everybody to see. So yay.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael. You know, in thinking about this, that's such a cool thing that you did. I wonder what kind of additional response you might have if you maybe put an overlay or you know, some sort of a hanging sign on your sign that said virtual open this Sunday, you know, at some time, right? So everybody driving by and say, wait, that house is having a virtual open. Let's see what that's all about. Let's dial into that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I actually I was on some webinar yesterday. I can't even remember who it was through, but I think it was through Keller. It was Melanie, that link you gave me, what's it called? Pivot? Is it the Pivot page? Yeah. There was a webinar there yesterday about holding virtual open houses, and they talked about that. And yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, just for the novelty factor of it, just people be like, what is that? You know, I think that's a cool thought. So yeah, unfortunately, this is the last house in a dirt road, so it may not get a whole lot of drive-by traffic. But what's that?
Well, people will remember you for doing that, right? And if this part of the strategy is to remain or to put yourself out as one of the first position realtors, meaning as soon as they lift this, you know, stay home, stay safe order, and people are starting to engage again, you already have all your activity lined up. You're already doing the right thing. Those people that saw that said, wow, this guy's imaginative. Look at how he's working to get those sellers' homes sold. You're going to be the guy they'll call. It won't be who they were going to call.
Well, yeah, and that's been part of my thought process is, I mean, it'd be nice to get transactions right now, obviously, but I want to, once this all kind of clears up and things get back to speed, to be in everybody's mind, you know. And I think again, that's where a smaller area helps out. If I were trying to do all of Portland, I don't know that would work, but doing Malala and or, you know, a big subdivision or whatever, just an area, I think you're setting yourself up to be ready to be up and running when the whole thing kind of comes to a close and the whole COVID thing comes to a close.
So I would just add one more thing. So there are plenty of groups in Keller Williams that are coming out, and they're actually doing tests. And what they're saying is, you know, you can post it to Facebook like you did. You can then boost it on Facebook, right? For a small fee, you can boost it on Facebook. What they're saying is that just putting it through command on Facebook is actually delivering better results than boosting it outside of command on Facebook. Oh. So I think I would love to see you, you know, as someone that's really taken the lead on this in the company, to try it both ways and see if you're seeing a difference.
Yeah, and I would love to do the KW thing. I mean, command is so huge and so much stuff on there that I just missed out on that entire part of it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, if I can do free boosting instead of paid boosting, then I'm all for that.
Awesome.
For everybody, you know, if you're scared to jump into command completely, if you can just get in and try one thing that might help you with your business and save you money, then that would be, you know, find which one that is, or reach out to one of us on staff and see what we can help you with to help you cut costs and help you get better results.
So who's the best Facebook command resource? Is it Chantel? I'm looking at you, Chantel.
I have to unmute myself. I'm actually going to have a class on that probably Thursday or Friday on this exact topic with landing pages and boosting things.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, because now you might have more time to dig into some of those additional features of command that maybe you didn't have the time before. So especially if there's things that you're paying for, like those websites from another like provider that you could have for free, switch to for free. So awesome. Thank you, Robert. And Jenny, did you want to add anything about just having virtual open houses, or anything maybe you learned or would do differently?
I just learned a lot from Robert, so I didn't have a lot of success with mine, but I just picked up a lot of stuff from him that I could do differently next time.
But you did, because people saw it. that you were working on social media. So give yourself some credit. You know, you're still doing the activities and people are seeing it, even though it might not be driving results today. Like Dwight said, you're building up your activities so that on the other side of this, you have a big pile of clients that are thinking of you first. Great. So let's hear, Connie, if you're on, I see you're on the phone. If you want to jump on, I know you had some success over the last couple of days too. And Austin,
Austin might have to unmute her.
You have to unmute her, I think, if you're on the phone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Connie.
Hello.
I have been very busy, and so yesterday, or the other day, I put on a new home on the market in Selwood. It's going for $900,000. I also had a listing appointment yesterday afternoon. I'm getting ready, actually, in a few minutes to jump in the shower because I have another listing appointment at noon. And I have a couple more things coming on the market in the next couple of weeks, and still closing on 3 more in the next couple of weeks as well.
Woo!
That is amazing. Tell us more about where you got these clients. Have you been working with them for a while, or did they, tell us more about that.
So some of the clients are now, I'm just starting to get referrals. It's been less than a year being in the business, but people are starting to refer me, which is really wonderful. I just worked a lot. I think some of the clients that are starting to percolate now are from what I was doing 90 days ago. So I'm seeing results of that now. And I always believe that it's kind of like gardening, you plant a seed and it's about 90 days for it to sprout. So I get a little bit of fear of missing out if I'm not constantly working, because I know that 90 days there probably won't be anything if I'm not constantly producing or doing something. So I've just been, working and generating and reaching out to people. Another thing, what else have I been doing? I was at my listing yesterday for my photo shoot, and a couple people walked by, and we kept our 6-foot distance, but I picked up a couple clients. So, so just kind of out and about and talking to people, and finding out what their interests are, and genuinely wanting to help them.
That is amazing. You're staying so engaged. Not only are you having deals now, you're building more things for your future. And I love that you just said you're just staying engaged, and people are feeling that you're genuine, right? You really do care about people when you speak to them. I think that's probably really resonating now more than ever.
Right.
What other activities are you doing now to kind of plant more seeds for the future?
I don't really have a set of activities that I'm focused on. I'm just, again, some of them came in as referrals, and, yesterday sitting in my car waiting for the photographer to finish, I just, started chatting with people as they walked by. But other than that, I think really reaching out and asking if clients and friends need help in the community. And I'm not actually talking about houses. Last week I delivered groceries to a few families. I have a few nurse friends who I delivered food to. I set up a meal train. That's the way that I'm engaging with my community and my sphere. And it's just really, that comes natural to me because I've always been sort of that nurturer for many, many, many years. And so it feels good to be able to give back in a time where other people need something else other than buying a house. And maybe one day they will need to sell or buy.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. Putting good out there, and it will come back. Maybe
Would
not.
you tell us, can I interrupt? Would you tell us more about how you're delivering food and what your criteria is, what that process is about?
Yeah, so I'm just I'm texting my friends and saying, hey, if you need anything, please let me know. I'm going to do a grocery run. Sometimes if you just say that you're going to do it, it feels less of a burden on them. They don't want, to feel like you're going out just for them. So I just say, I'm doing a Costco run. It'd be a great time if you could tell me if you needed anything. I pick up their items, and the process, sanitary wise, I'm using wipes to wipe them all down and delivering it to their porch.
Wow, great idea. That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, you're not even doing it like through a group. You're just doing it through yourself. That's great.
And that's the thing too. I mean, I feel like if we just come from a place of giving, other people will feel that and understand that you are a giver. And I think that because I've always just been that way, it doesn't feel odd to them that I'm all of a sudden asking. But I think if you are all of a sudden asking, it's a good thing too, because maybe they'll think, there's other things that you are wanting to, gift to people rather than just business.
That's great. And I know Megan was saying that too, how she was delivering groceries and checking on her elderly neighbors and just putting that good out there without necessarily gluing your business card all over it, but just putting true goodness out there. Wonderful.
Right. And you don't even have to put I don't know if you said putting your business card out there. I don't know.
No, I said you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Exactly, because one of my favorite quotes that I love is Maya Angelou's, and she said it's not about it. You'll never remember exactly what people said, but you'll always remember how they made you feel. And so I think that resonates with me and probably for everyone, a lot of people. So just making people feel good and knowing that you care is number one, and a business card won't ever do something like that, so.
That's so beautiful, Connie. So beautiful. I totally agree. One of my favorite quotes. I love everything you're doing. I just love your spirit. It's so inspirational. It's just such a positive, lifting message. So thank you so much. I love that what you're doing. You understand that concept of what you're doing now has that 90-day effect. So it's just awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. All right. Who?
Hey, Corinne.
Yeah.
It's Robin. I have to share this.
Please.
I just got someone come up to my door just now, and it was a DoorDash. Don't forget I'm a senior, right? And I said, what in the heck is this? Open the door, and this gal's got this packages for me. There are 3 of them. It's called Crumble Cookies from Progress Ridge. And I went, what in the heck is doing that? Well, here's my little partner, Cricket, and Janet says, Robin, thank you for all you do. We love you. This is amazing. You have to see these cookies. They're amazing. They're designer. They're huge. They're like chocolate chip. And I mean, oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm just like about to cry, guys. Sorry. I had to share that with you. We
love that, Robin. And think about how that made you feel. And I've seen it at someone posted about that cookie company.
Those cookies are so good.
Oh.
My friend brought over a dozen of them, all different flavors for us to try before the COVID happened. And oh my gosh, there was a cheesecake one that was phenomenal, caramel cheesecake.
Well, I've got one of those. And
oh yeah.
She sent me a dozen. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna have to go give them to my neighbors because I can't eat them all. Anyway, I had to share that, guys.
Thank you.
Plus, I guess we have a closing this week too. That's been stepped up Friday, and we had a closing about a week ago, and we've got another new one coming on board in about 2 weeks. So yeah, we're doing okay.
Yeah, the ball's continuing to roll. Think about how impactful cookies, groceries, anything like that can be. It can touch someone's heart to the point of almost bringing them to tears just for one little thing that you're doing to another person. So thank you for sharing that, Robin.
Welcome.
And let's see. Okay, so Pam is asking, are those pop buys that agents are doing in person or like dropping by their doors? And I think, Pam, are you talking about like what Connie was talking about too?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was just, because it sounds like Robin, it sounds like Cricket was doing pop buys, right? That was a gift that she's dropping at clients' doorsteps. Is that right, Robin?
I was in the kitchen, what?
Oh, I don't know if I misunderstood, but was Cricket doing, were those like pop buys?
Those are for me. And they were.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't doing it. I thought it was on a scale of pop buys for clients. And so that just got me thinking.
Well, and she does that. So that, I guess, you know, because we work together, we have a little partnership going where, and that's probably why. And I'm also, you know, live here in Summerfield and a senior, and my honey's very compromised with lung and heart issues. So I think everything, you know, and thank you, I guess is what they do this periodically. They surprise me, you know.
Okay, I guess I was
Hey,
just
Robin.
wondering.
Robin?
Yes.
Did you say those were delivered by DoorDash?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, thank you.
You can have those delivered without even leaving your house, so.
So is that something then that people just with that, like if people do pop buys, you know, once a quarter or more than that, is that something that people are still doing? Or is that seen as, you know, maybe people don't want, even if you just drop it on their doorstep, maybe people don't want that just because of the contamination concerns. So are pop buys still happening, or how are people getting ways to get, you know, engaged in ways of something like that, like in place of a pop buy?
Great question. Let's turn that out. Has anyone been doing pop buys or dropping things off at like multiple people's doors?
This is Beth. And good morning, everyone.
Hi, Beth.
And I've made the decision not to do physical pop buys. I think it just sends a message that I'm not personally comfortable with. We're all trying to honor the stay-at-home information, and I have a lot of clients that have kids. They're trying to homeschool, they're trying to work, they're trying to figure out how they're going to keep their family going. So instead of doing a phone call or a text, that's one more thing that disturbs them. I guess it's been it was last week, I started doing handwritten notes because I've got a lot of note cards, I've got stamps, and I thought, when was the last time that I got a handwritten note in the mail, and how good it made me feel that someone took the time to do that. And then I also have a lot of tea bags that are wrapped, that you know, the kind that are fancy that you get that come in the little paper deals. And so I found that I can put 2 of those inside a note card, and I'm just sending those out and saying, hi, I'm thinking of you. If there's anything that you need, if you need me to do a grocery run for you, if you need a prescription pickup, whatever you need, let me know. And I've had I've sent out, I think 15 or so. I've had 4 responses. Just thank you for thinking of us. Thank you for the personal touch. One woman whose husband is stranded somewhere. He was at a conference. He got sick. Now he's on quarantine. She's home with their 3 kids. They don't have family here. So she called in a grocery order. They couldn't deliver for another 4 days. So I went over and picked up her groceries and left them on the front porch. I would never have known about that. I would never have known she had that need. And she isn't good about reaching out and asking. So it was just a coincidence that I had chosen them to send a personally, you know, a handwritten note. But I just feel like the more genuine and personal and connected that we can be just in our community. I run 2 different Facebook pages in our community, and I'm keeping those going. One is focusing on small businesses, and I'm getting a tremendous amount of response and requests from that. So I think our clients are overwhelmed. Their nerves are starting to fray. My nerves are starting to fray. So anything that we can do that's kind of no contact or low contact, I don't want to give them a task they have to answer an email, or they have to respond to me in some way, or they have to do one more thing. I don't want to do that, but I want them to know that I'm available. And you know, a note card in the mail is special now because we don't get them. So rather than doing pop-bys, that's my preferred approach right now.
That is a great tip, Beth. And it's, you know, rather than everyone the same with the catchy phrase or the pun, you know, pop-bys, something that's really going to touch people's hearts and a little bit individualized. That's really good.
Can I ask a quick question?
Please.
Yeah. So Beth, when you're doing those, I mean, are you doing them just to people you've done transactions with in the past? Or are you doing it to your entire database? I mean, how familiar are you with the people? Do you put a card in the envelope with your card? I mean, a business card in with your note card, or?
Yeah, these are clients of mine, or they're people that I know in the community. So, for example, the woman with the 3 kids, they've never been a client of mine, but I know her. I've served on committees with her. I've served on committees with her husband. So I'm very familiar with them. I know their family. I know their kids. And I know that they don't have family here. And so that was one of my first cards that I sent out. But it's either to people I know personally or they're my clients. I'm doing my A-list clients right now. And then because certainly I have time, or you would think I would, although I'm busier than I thought I would be. Just as I have a few minutes, I'm trying to send out 5 a day.
Thank you.
Yeah, like a small, palatable goal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Corinne, it's Robin.
Hello.
I just got a text from a friend who her friend is making the masks and making them out of fun materials and selling them on Etsy. I don't know if you guys would be interested in anything like that, but I'm going to order a couple from her because, you know, it's hard to find them. These are just the regular, they're not the official, you know, N95 or whatever, but they're still, you know, nice to have and maybe good to clients. I don't know if someone's looking for something like that.
Yeah, it's always good to put things like that out there. So maybe share the link with one of us or on the Facebook group, and then we can check that out more.
Okay, I think they're like $25, or if you order more, then they give you a discount on that. I just want to share that. I'm going to order.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, spreading good things out into the world. Anyone else have anything to chime in on that? I saw a post. I saw a post of somebody. Oh, go ahead, Megan.
I have quite a few clients who work in emergency rooms as nurses, and something that I'm doing is connecting with them and organizing pizza delivery. So, or like food delivery and stuff. So just kind of obviously not asking for business, as my clients know what I do. And I feel like it's like just a small thing that I can do to do something nice for people, because like in my house in Disneyland.
You do a great job, Megan, of just pushing good out into the world. So that is great. And then even like your messaging, something you posted on Facebook the other day about people not going to the store on the 1st through the 3rd to kind of save some of the funds for or the food for the WIC consumers, and just little things like that. They don't have anything to do with housing. They don't have anything to do with real estate. But I think those are really good to remember, not necessarily even just in this time, but in all times. So what other good are you doing, Megan? Share some more.
I mean, I started a Facebook group for our neighborhood because surprisingly there wasn't one. I have a competing realtor. He actually sold us our house, but he didn't start one. So I'm getting the ground coverage on that. And I'm just like doing 5 note cards a day with all of my contact information and nothing about real estate, but also inviting them to join the Facebook group to hopefully get more people in. We've got like 20 people in the last week. So feels like we're getting a little momentum, and people are posting about like that teddy bear thing, putting teddy bears in your windows, and just like cute things they see around the neighborhood, which is nice. I'm also like something we talked about yesterday on the ALC meeting that I think was important to just discuss is like, it's important to be working when and how you can right now, because the real estate industry is a huge like puzzle piece to the entire economy. So keeping that in mind, like we need to keep the wheels on the bus as much as we can. Certainly not putting yourself in danger and listening to what your clients want to do and what's best for them and in their best interests. But if you can and do have clients who are wanting to sell and wanting to buy, be there for them and make sure that we can keep the engine going here in Portland. Just like being conscious of that is really, really important right now because it's wobbly.
And I think you know, we were talking on the ALC, there's lots, and I hope that my everybody can hear me okay. My daughter is on Classroom and I keep getting this message. It says unstable connection. So if you lose me, sorry about that. But what I wanted to say just really quick is there's a wonderful opportunity right now. I mean, there are so many opportunities out there, and it's just a matter of being creative and finding those opportunities and ways to interact with your potential client base. Outside of that, there's opportunities for you to try things you haven't tried. I mean, get a book about the real estate business. Talk about, you know, what other things you're doing. I'm communicating more on a personal level with all my clients and suggesting to my guys that they just talk. Don't talk about business. I think a couple of you have suggested not talking about business, and I think that's a good opportunity. But it's a great time to engage your Facebook account. Start to engage your Facebook account. Work on your website. Prepare to plant those seeds now, so when we come out of this, you have wonderful opportunities ahead. I really see this as an opportunity, and when you see that we can't operate in the same way we have in the past, we can become more flexible and more willing to change and be open to that change and find new ways of operating. And I'm doing that every single day. For commercial, I mean, residential keeps going, but I mean, imagine multifamily. How do I get an inspector to go through units that have people in the apartments? So we're stalled. So my only way of working is saying, hey, let me communicate with you. Let me continue to talk with you about what's going on with this virus and the expectation of when we're going to come out of it. And let's talk about what you guys are doing. How are you guys feeling? And what are you guys going through? Those are my clients. And it seems that level of care, and I think, you know, that was brought up a couple times on this call, is a great way to operate. I mean, because look, we're all disconnected, but we're more connected than ever through the internet. So it's a great time to reach out and see how to use the tools available to you to be successful. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah, that is great. And to kind of go back to like creating a Facebook group for your neighborhood that has nothing really to do with real estate. People are wanting that connection to other people right now. So you might get a lot more people joining groups like that than you otherwise would. Or, you know, and even using Zoom for personal things. Everyone can create a free Zoom account if you haven't already done that. Schedule Zoom calls with friends, neighbors, to stay in touch, because people are yearning for that connection right now to other people. And then also when you're putting good in the world, that's going to help with mental health. We talked a little bit about that last time, I believe, with the coping. And, you know, the more good you put out there, we're not saying that this time is not a challenging time, right? A lot of people have a lot going on, trying to balance kids, everything, fear of, you know, parents, different things like that. But when you're putting good out there, it can help with that side of it to kind of ease anxieties and, you know, make you just feel better overall. All right. Does anyone else have anything to share, successes from the week?
I have one thing. It's not so much a success though. So I was calling my clients who we had placed a Freedom Home warranty with and letting them know that they were out of business and that they didn't have a home warranty anymore. And one of those clients is a U.S. attorney, and she specializes in fraud. And I was chatting with her, you know, letting her know about the home warranty we purchased for them at the beginning of March was probably useless. But then telling her a little bit more about what I'd been hearing of Freedom collecting funds in the last week or two, despite the fact that they communicated to their sales reps that they were going out of business on March 16th. And she said if they were collecting funds, you know, at a time when they well knew they were likely to be going out of business, that rises to criminal fraud. And so if you have anybody in that position where a home warranty was purchased in the last, like, say, week to 10 days, I can connect you to Donna, because she wanted to forward that on to her colleagues to have that investigated as someone doing, you know, take fraudulent business. So just want to put that out there. If you do have someone, just connect with me and I can connect you to Donna.
Laura, did you find out if they're not, because I haven't been able to reach anybody, have you found out if I've heard that they're honoring their existing warranties? But
I
then
heard that was their intention, but they're not answering their phones. They're not answering their emails. So so if somebody did have an immediate need, like, what could they do?
Yeah, there may be some provisions in the law when they established where there may be some loss provisions where they would be able to continue coverage. Obviously, you know, hopefully they are doing that. But the big trick is if we can't get through to them, then we have to find other sources to figure out what they've done. But I know this is not the first time home warranty companies have gone out of business. They did in 2008 as well. And so I have seen these where they did, like I said, they did establish a loss fund so that the policies that were out there did have some potential funding available. So I guess it'll be, you know, we'll find out more as we go forward. If everyone doesn't mind, I invited Denise Wilson, our friend at Lawyers, to come on. And I was hoping, Denise, you could take a couple minutes to talk about, you know, the positive things that are happening with your closings and maybe anything that's happening creatively that we can keep in mind when we're talking to clients.
You're on mute.
There we go. Is that better?
There you go.
Thank you, Dwight, for having me. And I just want to say, I think you guys are, once again, so awesome. And just to piggyback on your amazingness, you know, some of the things we've been discussing this week with clients, with my team, is really, you know, what are we uniquely suited for to be able to provide other people relief, peace, to help them. And you guys are doing just that. What a neat morning it's been to share with you. So I just have loved that so much. Some of the things that we've been making sure to take care of our clients, our consumers, and our teams at Lawyers Title is we've been, you know, following the instructions of the government, etc. We are set up. We've been practicing working from home as far as the VPN and all of those things being set up the last, you know, 2 and 3 weeks, and on the evenings and weekends, getting that set up. So we're set up from home for the most part. Our offices are open. We are keeping everything very disinfected. We are closed to the public, okay? So what that means is we're just making sure that we know who's coming in the office. So the offices are open with a skeleton crew, right? And we're doing everything unique in the sense of, you know, gosh, yesterday I called for one of my escrow officers. She was in a signing out at somebody's car. So this particular scenario, we just, you know, they were in self-quarantine, and she reviewed all of the loan documents right over the email, or excuse me, right over the phone. The client had the package on the phone. She slipped through those, you know, 2 to 4 pieces of paper that actually needed her notary stamp, took a picture of the driver's license right through the phone, or excuse me, the window. So, you know, we're doing what needs to happen, and every file is uniquely its own special needs right now, right? And we're here to support you guys. You guys are like us on the front lines. And we're open and serving you and our clients, and certainly the community. I just wanted to share a couple things on your open houses that were some successes that I had been shared with as well. A gal who works down in the Mid-Valley, her name is Laura, she had shared with me that one of the things that she did with her live Facebook videos is she announced it live. You know, the algorithms are very strong, right? And of course, using command will make it that much more. But announcing it a few days prior to, and then 30 minutes before, and then the actual. Now, in her experience, what she had done is she said, you know, maybe there was only, you know, 10 here or 5 here that actually came on live, but she said it was tremendous, the response, because then it sits there afterwards, the response that she got from her community, from her people that, you know, knew she was going to do it, just the interaction. She said some of these live Facebook open houses she had done, that they had the biggest response after, you know, because it's recorded and it's on your Facebook page, right? Well, she said then she also had the professional video out there. She said it was 50% higher interaction, comments, liking, etc. on the live, real life, human to human. She said in one of them, I dropped the phone. I said, just a minute, please. Grabs it, you know, they can hear her, and just being that real life person, she said, has really gotten her such traction with the community. So I thought that was really neat. And I think that whatever we can do, you guys, to support each other, you can count on me if you just want to talk confidentially. I've got some, you know, folks that I've been consulting with regarding financials, ideas of what you guys should be doing. This is a time that obviously holding on to your cash and talking to, you know, talking to the people that you have car payments with. I know you guys started out the conversation regarding the financials, but it's real, you guys, right? You know, consulting with a good friend of mine, Kristen Cole, you know, one of her big things was, you know, she has been through crisis in real estate before. And, you know, she had just shared with me, you know, just some of the things that were really important to do, which was keeping her people, keeping her cash, and utilizing that phone. And that was her priorities. And I think it's important that, you know, to share those things.
Thank you, Denise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything we can do to share, we're here. Okay.
And just so you know, and I know I texted you also, we are anxious to have our industry partners come online and tell us what they're hearing and what people are doing and how things are working. So your tip on the open house and posting the, you know, the high quality media afterwards with the links and everything is such a great idea. And we've also had many great ideas. So feel free to join this. And if you have others that are interested that have good ideas, you know, there's a shortage of good ideas. We need more and more and more, right?
Okay. Well, I'm your girl. I'm here to help. My team is, you guys, we're here to support you. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're working with Lawyers Tile or not. I don't care about that right now. We are here to support you. My team and I are literally every day, we're educating ourselves. We're finding the best practices because we care about our industry. We are so passionate about that. I'm going to be setting up some masterminds as well, and I will be sharing what comes out of that. I've got clients all over the country that I'm so blessed to partner with, and they're always willing to share with me. They know my heart, they know my team's heart, and I am going to be on here with you guys, and I will share. And Dwight asked me the last minute to jump on. I'm so blessed. Next time I'll have a lot more to share next week, okay? Or the next time you invite me.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're always welcome.
Thanks so much.
One thing in the chat that Beth had posted is that she posted on our Facebook group an interview with Dr. Lawrence, Chief NAR economist, with Colin Moulin, and they talk about the COVID-19 impact. So look for that on the Facebook page. I've heard that. I need to still watch that. I've heard that interview specifically was good. And then Dwight, do you want to do any final words for all of us?
Gosh, I'm at a loss for words, like for the first time. No, I think the content's been great, and I just want everyone to know that before the meeting, I sent out, you know, we've got Melanie sending out us our text with the link, right? And it has the topic. So I have a goal of sending out 10 of those. You know, it's easy to do on a phone, right? Forward to text. And so this morning I already had 4 people, because I thought about it late, but I'm not going to in the future. I'm going to do it right. And I had quite a bit of feedback saying, oh my God, perfect. I want to come on. I'm walking into a meeting. I'm on a long call, whatever it is. I'll come on one of the next ones. So, you know, everyone, this is our chance to, again, our goal here is to get as many ideas as we can get that are good ideas and what's working, get the top things that are working, and to promote this call as literally the up to the minute, things that work. So anyone you can think of, any agents that are out there at other companies that are having success, if they want to come and listen, let's blow this up.
Love it. Love it. And thank you everyone who shared today. These calls are so wonderful because of everyone who chimes in with their great ideas and shares. So we'll keep that going. And then we look forward to talking to you all again on Friday. Have a great day.
Thank you.
I'll be staging a new listing on Friday.
Yeah.
Yay. Sorry, I won't be on the call.
That's a good reason now.